What's up guys, it's Missy. I'm back with another SimCity Buildit video, and today I'm going to be answering your guys' questions or commenting back to some of the comments on my channel. There's so many of them that, you know, sometimes I'll comment like on the YouTube channel, but for the most part, if it's something that I feel should really be voiced, I'll either direct you in the direction of the video that I already have posted, or I'll make one specifically for whatever your current problem or whatever is. Okay, so let's go ahead and get through a couple of these screenshots I did. It might be kind of hard for you guys to see, I apologize, but I'm zoomed in as far as I can go. So, okay, this one is, hi there, I do over 45K in wars regularly and get the grand prize whenever I do comms in the top league. But I always have a problem with money. I like wars and comm both, and I want to do both. So do you have any suggestions about what, and I should have hit read more, but I didn't. Okay, because I already remember this comment. All right, so here's the thing. This person is looking for an answer as to how they can do both comm and war and not be broke. Good luck. Sorry, but good luck. Here's the thing with that. First off, 45K in war isn't all that much, depending on what type of player you are, what level you are, what war card levels that you have. My advice to this person is that you focus on one or the other for a little bit of time until you can get your city in a position where you can afford to just throw stuff away. So here's the thing. The contest of mayors is beneficial, right? So for a low-level player, when you participate in the contest of mayors and you do it properly, you benefit from it. But if you do it improperly, you do not benefit from it. And it ends up costing you more than you get, right? Now, depending on what level this person is, will determine which way they should go about it. Now, when it comes to the war feature, though, the war feature, and I know a lot of you war players are going to hate this, but it's true. War sucks, okay? It doesn't give you shit. And you might like playing it. You might find enjoyment in the feature itself. But in terms of efficiency, you would be a fool to sit here and tell me how it benefits your game in any way. And I'll wait. Go ahead. Come on, lay it on me. How the hell does war benefit the game at all? Aside from your pure entertainment, what do you gain from it? Nothing. You gain nothing. Okay, so let me put it to you like this. You do your war deliveries and you donate your items to make war items, correct? And then you take those war items and you earn points that go towards a VU pass that unless you pay for, you only get half of the pass. So you get this VU pass and it gives you what? It gives you more war stuff. It's a vicious cycle. You're basically taking hard-earned money and hard-earned items and coin, and you're basically throwing them in a shredding machine. Now, granted, it's more like a flashy slot machine. You're not just walking by the casino and throwing it on the ground. They're letting you come inside and showing you a bunch of flashy pictures first, but essentially that's all that you're doing. You're throwing away all of your hard work. Okay, so then you win the war. And look at what your victory reward is. Are you serious right now? In A6, you get 60 Sims cash and like 5 platinum keys. Are you kidding me right now? How many avid war players drop cash on war cards or drop money on the war card packs? Or just think about this for a minute. Do you have any idea how much money you guys are destroying when you play war? Like, truthfully, the first war that I ever did was the very first war in the game. And it cost me over $250,000 in items. The very first one. And that was before anything was fun or cool or expensive or we had very minimal stuff at that point. We didn't have a VU pass. We didn't have hardly anything as far as rewards go. You had to get those stupid personal rewards, and it was terrible. So if you find enjoyment out of war, then great. But if you want to be a war player, if you do enjoy it and that's what you want to do, then you have to be even more of an efficient player than anybody else. So what ends up happening is the connection doesn't get made between the two. You know, war players are like, well, I'm a war player, so that's what I do. Okay, well, great, but how the hell are you going to be a war player if you don't know what the hell you're doing? If you want to be a real war player, if you want to actually know what the hell you're going to do, you got to make that money. You got to get those coins stacked up. You got to get those epics done. You got to have a city that is regenerating on its own. Okay? You got to have this consistent flow. If I wanted to be a war player, I could be a badass war player. All I'd have to do is stop playing calm, sit on the game, run tokens, make massive amounts of coin, do a shit ton of war deliveries or repairs or whatever, and then just start buying a shit ton of jackpots with my war simoleons, and then just hit as hard as I can every time I get the chance. Jackpots and energy pumps. And then I'd get my cards ranked up, and I'd be even better. And I could just keep hitting harder and harder every time. But the point is, what do I gain from that? I don't gain anything. I don't get a maxis from it. I don't get tokens from it. I don't get any kind of buildings from it. I get nothing from that but war stuff. So it has never been desirable to me to do that. And then the whole like, oh, well, it's fun to have the enemy attack you and things like that. It's not really fun because everybody's hacked. And then like all the hackers will go against other hackers and they'll be like, open war. And then everybody's putting up astronomical amounts of points and your city's under shield constantly. And it's just like, why are we even here? Like, where's the challenge here? Is it just see who has the best game guardian? Who's up and awake the most during the day and can hit for the most? Because there's no talent there. You know, there's no like, oh, well, you know, you had to come up with all that money. It's like, I got 9,000 war items in my depot because I'm hacked. So, yeah, it makes it really hard for legitimate players to want to even battle against you in A6 when half of the clubs are hacked. So, then you get, you know, clubs that are like half legit, half hacked. You have to really look at some of those players. A lot of those players are hacked, and they feed items to their group members, or you know, even if it's other items like regular items, they can put those up for free and make it even easier for their players to get stuff. So here you are blowing up all your money, and you're going against a hacker. So yeah, no. And you know, the contest of mayors has kind of become that same ordeal. But thankfully, SimCity has kind of cracked down on that. So if you want to play war, to answer your question, you know, you really should pick one or the other until you are in a stable place where you can blow up all of your money. You need to stack up a lot of money so you can blow it up. That's really what it comes down to. You have to have a consistent flow of income if you want to be burning money. You can't, I mean, think of it like this. You want to take a big pile of money and you want to go in your backyard and you want to burn it, right? But then you're like, I don't have money to burn. Well, that's because you ain't getting money. You're just burning money. You got to get it to burn it. And so right now you're just kind of stuck. It sounds like this person probably struggles with a lot of stuff with their game. And that's because you're focused on too many things, for one. And when one of those too many things is costing you rather than, you know, being a benefit to you, it's not good. So I'm all about multitasking. I talk about it a lot on my channel, and I'll tell you guys, you know, that you need to work on multiple things. But what a lot of people don't understand is they multitask in the wrong way. You know, they'll do something really good, but then they'll turn around and do something really bad for their gameplay. Like maybe they have all their shops figured out, but they don't do epic projects, right? So like, sure, their production is in order, but their epics are, you know, they don't have any epics. So they're just kind of like, well, I know how to make money, but at a normal speed because I don't do epics, you know, or like this person. They could probably score, or in fact, I don't know what their level is, but if they're below level 24, they could easily hit first place in the contest every single week like everybody else on my channel. But they would have to apply themselves and try to learn the process and all that. Okay, so the next person, let's see what you got. Alright, it says I wait till the first video ad to pop up, I go production, start my task. Okay, so the reason I screenshotted this one was because on this particular video I was talking about techniques that you would use to prep your factories for the contest. Now, for you level 24 players, you should have lost your ad feature where, you know, you have that video ad thing that pops up randomly and it allows you to clear out one whole factory. Another part of that feature is when you click on your factory, the very first slot should have a little video symbol on it. And you can watch a video on the very first slot, and then it clears it out. Now, what happens is, though, after a certain level point, you don't get those video ads anymore. What he's saying is that he gets the video ads, and therefore he can do the first round, and then the second round he can get done on a video ad. Absolutely. If you have video ads, yes, you should be doing that, but most people that have video ads know that, or I've talked about that in other videos, but I should have stated it in that video. A lot of you guys, though, for the most part, are level 24 because you know that being, you know, a lower level shows or gives little benefit. Okay. The next one. This person asks if I'm in a SimCity Buildit group on Facebook. Okay, so about that. So there's a lot of SimCity Buildit groups on Facebook. Okay, one of them I run, and it's the SimCity Buildit MissyAnne. It's very obvious. It's my group. It's got a picture of me and CPT on the front, and it says my name right across the whole front of it. Okay, but the other ones, I was in 2 Facebook groups on SimCity, and somebody had reached out to me asking me, because I had commented, this was a while ago, probably 2 years ago, he had commented and said, you know, you don't belong in this group, you belong in the group where the more intelligent people are, and I'm inviting you to my group. And I'm like, okay, whatever, you know. And so I'm like, yeah, sure. So he sends me a link to his group, and I go ahead and I go to his group. Now, I'm not super active on the Facebook app itself, like Messenger, yes, but on Facebook app itself, I'm not. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. So I started seeing all these just random posts of people asking just like really crazy shit, but getting horrible answers. Like the most common thing I would see is, you know, how to get coins or how to start Epic. That one I saw a lot was why can't I start my Epic? Why can't I get it to pop up in this category? And so many people would jump in the comments section and give horrible answers. And I thought, you know, you answer this for somebody, and if they don't know that, there's probably a lot about epics that they don't know. So when you answer their one question, you're really not helping them, because you really need to kind of school them on the whole subject, right? That'd be like somebody saying, hey, what's 2 plus 2? You give them the answer, and then they run off on their own, but they're not able to get the answer on their own when it comes across again, right? Because now you haven't really helped them. And so I thought, you know, it would probably be a good idea to make a channel about this type of thing. And I started it just like, okay, whatever, you know, a couple videos here and there for group members and for people that would come in. And my channel was only at about 200 subscribers, maybe 400 at this time. And people, you know, kept asking like this or that, and I would be like, hey, you know, I got a video on that. But I had only commented on about 3 posts. And people started to get to know my channel, and they started commenting on people's posts and saying like, hey, go watch Missy's channel, she's really good, blah, blah, blah. This person, the admin of this group, reached out to me and was pissed off because he didn't want people or myself advertising my videos on the channel. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, why? It's not like, I mean, I could see if like I was advertising my group and like taking, you know, group members from you, but I'm not. And I went over his Facebook page, and I'm like, other people post their videos. There's, you know, 2 people on here right now that post their videos. And his response to that was, they're EA game changers, so we allow their content. And I'm like, wait. What you're saying to me is that you allow these 2 people to advertise their YouTube channel because they're EA game changers, even though their advice is terrible. I brought up several different discussions on epic projects, on making money, on everything. I'm like, look at what they're doing for the SimCity Buildit community versus what I'm doing. And that's when I'm just like, I see how it is. I see what's going on here. You don't want me to help people. That's not what this group is about. It's not about helping people. It's about keeping people stupid so that they can't get anywhere on their own. That's exactly what it's for. And that's why he sits there and he's like, oh yeah, I got 15 different cities, and he has all this information, that people don't have at their fingertips, because he's got EA Game Changers in his messenger box going, here you go, here's the next this, here's the next that. But in reality, you don't find stuff on his, you find the information, but you don't find the answer, if that makes sense. Like, for example, me and him had gotten into a discussion about what is the best item to make to get coin. And he tried to tell me, well, you have to make everything. Well, no shit, you have to make everything, but that wasn't the question. The question was, what are the best, items to make coin? And we got into a discussion about hamburgers and how you wouldn't want to make hamburgers. And he's like, I don't know why anybody would make burgers. That's just stupid. It's like, that's my point. But what you're doing is you're handing them a basic chart, and you're like, here, that's what you get. Like, that's not the answer they want. That's not an answer to the question. That's basically handing somebody a multiplication chart, but then not explaining it. So that was the whole point in the production guide that me and CPT had put together, and that was my whole point in the discussion that we were having. Now, do you have to make other items for certain types of whatever it is you're doing in your game? Yes, absolutely. But if you want to run your production on just coin, just to make coin, then that's what you would do. So, I started to see, like, this dude knew what he was talking about on certain things, but other things it was like he was playing ignorant. It was like, I have the answer for myself, and I know how to play the game for myself, but I'm not going to help anybody else. Like, really help them, because they're just not capable of comprehending. And some of them aren't. But, I mean, if that's a point in your Facebook page, then that's what the point is. So the way I saw it was this. I'm not allowed to advertise my channel. Because why? Because I'm not an EA Game Changer. But my advice is better. That's not a question. That's a statement. My advice is better. You go on their channel and they'll tell you how you're going to go broke donating to one pointer epic pointers. You go on their channel, they'll tell you how broke they are from doing fucking road upgrades. Or you watch them build their dream city. Isn't that just a beautiful video? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, they're not even trying. They're not trying to help you. They're paid to make sure that you don't do good. Like, that's the way I see it. I mean, the channel's been there 6 damn years. You're telling me in 6 damn years they couldn't put out a video to help you guys? That's pretty shitty. And so when you go on when you asked me, like, are you in the SimCity Buildit Facebook groups, I thought, which one and why would I want to be? Like, my group, when you go on my group on Facebook, you'll notice what it's all about. Everybody's posting how good they're doing. They might post a question, yes, but everybody's posting how great they're doing. They're not posting how horrible they're doing like they are in all the other groups. In my group, they're like, hey, I won again this week. Hey, I won again this week. I just fucking had my 10th mega win. Or I just made so much money on Missy's production plan. Like, people are doing kick-ass. And that shows right there why I climbed up to 1,000 subs in less than 8 months. I mean, why would I want to be in the other Facebook groups when I'm not even allowed to have my channel advertised on them because I help people? That's the whole point in the group. And if you think that you're going to be able to run a Facebook group and not hear about Missy, that's just stupid, because so many people refer my channel now. The way I see it is this. Go ahead, keep referring my channel on their damn Facebook page. It's kind of funny, I think. I'd be doing it. I'd be like, hey, you check that Missy girl out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to hit a fucking gold epic in 15 minutes? That's the video you want to watch. You want to start making some money? This is the channel you want to watch. Which is why people hate me, and they still watch my videos. Because they know. They're like, I might hate this bitch, but she knows what's up. Alright, so this one here says, do you get the specialization buildings back from the design challenge? Yes, you do. I talked about that in the video. I stated that, so basically what it is they direct you to a separate map, which is very tiny, okay? And they give you a couple of things. They give you like one of each of the services and like 3 residential zones. you are able to put down your specialization buildings on the map. And then what kind of pissed me off was that when you take the picture, you can't get the whole map in the photo. So be aware that whatever you can't see on your main screen, if you have to scroll in any direction, you're not going to be able to include that in the photo. So when you make your map, make sure that you make it with whatever you can see on the main screen. So then, you know, when you take the picture, once you take the photo and you submit the photo, it's going to redirect you back to your capital map, and you will not be able to go back to that map at all. It's going to automatically add every single thing that you place down on that map is going to be added back to your inventory, and that map is closed until, you know, the next round or until the voting or whatever. But yes, it automatically adds it all back. Now, another thing that I wanted you guys to know, sorry, damn train. Another thing I wanted you guys to know is that I'm going to be doing a video on this particular topic more thoroughly once the voting opens. So be sure to check that out, okay? All right. Now, hang on just a second here. So we did 1, 2, I think we're on the 3rd screenshot. 4th. Okay, so this person says, if you get into a club with high-ranked teammates, they usually have all or most of their land unlocked. I find that they usually have 1 or 2 rare items in their depots, well, in excess. More items, more times than none. They'll let them go to war before this is messed up. Okay, so he's talking about his specific group, but what he's trying to say is if you join in groups where people have their you know, you join in with high-level players that have their stuff done, they will be more inclined to help. Yes, that is true. That's absolutely true. But you can't depend on that, you know? And you don't want to be a burden to your group. You want to be somebody who is giving just as much as you're receiving from the group. So I see a lot of people, they jump into a group and they're like, hey, can anybody give me rares? Give me rares. And then they just bounce around. That's rude as fuck. Okay, I'm sorry, it is. Even if they are a high-level player, they could be trading those for a rare that they do need, or just simply because they could be helping out maybe another teammate or whatever. You need to get well established in whatever group it is that you want to be in, and usually by then people will help you. Yes, that's true. And that is why, that is exactly why I tell people that you should be leveling up, okay? If you camp at level 10, you're not going to be able to get into a group. And that is a major hit. That is a major hit. A group, finding a really good club is an incredible asset. I can't tell you how beneficial it is to have 20 to 25 people that you can reach out to for help. The odds of them not having the item that you need is extremely slim to none, especially if you're in a, like I said, a good group. If you find a group where nobody's active, nobody helps anybody, you know, people barely talk at all or barely help at all in any which way, shape, or form, then yeah, you're going to have a miserable time. Now, that is exactly why it's important to get that going right away, you know, like level up, get into a good club, get well established. That way you can build a rapport with people and trade, you know, and get the things done that you need to get done. You'll have more depots accessible to you. You'll have a wider variety of items that you can produce to earn some coin. I mean, just all around, you're going to be in a better position than if you just sit around and dig around at level 9. I mean, that is probably the biggest mistake that I would say that people make right now is they camp way too low level. Way too low. I can tell you right now that I've had, I want to say 12 people, right around 12 people that have speed leveled past the, right about level 18 to 20 and then into 24. They speed leveled up. They never camped level 10 or whatever. Every single one of those people had 500 storage at a minimum within the first 2 months of playing. And most of them hit it within the first month of playing. Did they spend a lot of time on the global market? Yes, they did. But that's just it. They didn't just spend time on global. You know, they had the group feature, they had the Mayor's Pass feature, they had been doing the attacks on the monster all the time so that they were getting something from that, like, you know, experience towards their war cards and rares for whatever he gives you or whatever. Then you also have the group chest. You know, we hit the legendary chest every single week. That's what, 15 rares there just for that? So you're really missing out on a lot when you just sit around at level 9. But yeah, that is one thing that you can do, is try to get into a group where people are actually more inclined to help you. Okay, this person. Can someone help me? When I want to log into my feeder city on the device that have the main account, I can't because I have a message that says this account is already linked to another city. We cannot log you into this account. I can't play with 2 accounts with one device, or what, or is this a bug? Okay, so this particular question I get asked a lot. Now, first thing is if you have installed the game on your phone, okay, and you logged into the game with a Facebook account or a Google account or even an Apple account, that account is now connected to that city. There is no way possible for you to delete that account from that city. So if you wanted to, let's say, log into a different account, it's going to be the dominant account is already set. So, like, let me put it to you this way. If I log into 2 different Google accounts on my phone, and I go open the game and I log into my main account, and then I decide to hit log out, log in, it's going to say, it's going to log me in automatically to the Google account that I've already provided. I would have to clear the app data or uninstall and reinstall, which is the same thing, and then reboot the app logged in on the other Google account, and then it will prompt you with a different message. It will allow you to log into that other account. But if you don't uninstall the app, you could get this annoying message that says this account is already linked. But that message usually pops up when, like, let's say that you reinstalled the game. You've switched it over to your other Facebook or Google or whatever kind of account, and then you go to log into your account or whatever, and it says this account is already being used. Typically, that means that you need to wipe the app. But what could be happening is that you're trying to connect a save data, like you're trying to save a city to a city that's already been, or an account that already has a city saved to it. So if you want to save a new city to a new account, you got to remake everything. You got to make all new accounts, restart the app or whatever, and then you can log into it. Otherwise, it's just going to erase your old city. So what a lot of people will do is they screw up big time. So, like, let's say that you have a city that is garbage and you want to restart. What they'll do is they'll uninstall the game and reinstall it. They stay logged into all their stuff as they normally would, and they play their tutorial. They go through, they build their new city, and then they go to connect their save data, and it says, you know, log in with Facebook, and they log in with Facebook thinking that they can override their old save. And what ends up happening is it shows them a screen that says, would you like to continue playing locally, or would you like to load from the server? And it shows you the name of your old city, and it shows you the population. If you click continue playing locally, that means that you are not saving it to Facebook. It's only saved to the device, which means that you need to log out of whatever Facebook that you're logged into. Make an additional Facebook. You have to wait 1 hour. After that, you'll open the game back up. You'll hit login with Facebook with the new account, and it will save that new city to a new Facebook. That's how that works. Same thing with Google, same thing with Apple, okay? Once you've done that, if you wanted to restart an additional time, you would have to do all that over again. You can't flip between the two very easily. So, like, let's say that you clicked log out, log in with Facebook. If you were on the other Facebook, if you flipped them over, sometimes it will say, would you like to go with this city or whatever, but most of the time it makes you uninstall and reinstall the app to kind of get that prompt again. So hopefully that helps. I do have videos on all of this stuff in detail. So you guys, I think a lot of you, it comes down to finding the right video. You know, click on my channel, click on the playlist, and look through the videos that I have, because I'm pretty certain that I've covered every single topic on this game. Okay, let me see if there's any other... things here. Okay, so this person says, I thought the design challenges were only on the regional maps. Us level 24 players will still have to work around those tasks unless we can still vote. Okay, so I was under the impression that it was on regional maps as well until I got the feature. I haven't had the feature up until the last couple of days. It's not on the regional maps. It's on its own separate map, like we discussed at the beginning of the video. People that are level 24 will be able to participate, but the issue is you won't be able to participate unless you plan to level up. That's the catch. So they're like, hey, you know, you can participate, but you really can't submit a design unless you hit 3,000 pop at a minimum. And only way to do that is to upgrade, and then by upgrading you level up. So really, all of you guys at level 24, unless you plan to level up, you're not going to be able to participate in the design feature. You will be able to vote, I believe, unless you have to submit a design to vote. That I don't know. I have not done voting yet. I don't think you do, but I will have a video about that. I try to do things for myself first before I put a video out. I try to collect as much information as I can from members or players or whatever. Take in all of the information that they've given me, and then draw my own conclusions when I deal with the experience on my own. You know, I've been given way too much bad advice to have somebody come up to me and say, yeah, this is what happens, and then I make a video on it and put it out to all you guys, and then it's wrong information. You know, I don't want that. So I try as hard as I can to make sure that the information that I'm getting is valid, you know. So yes, that is not the case. You will, but you won't be able to participate. Okay, let's see. Let's go with the next one. We're getting really close to being done here. So this person says, I've started over many times looking for quirks in the game. I'm currently camping level 9 right now, hunting for storage items. My question for you is, how long did it take you to find a good club? I find when I do level up, most players don't use the chat when at war. They ask for items that take me an hour and a half to produce, but they only attack 1 or 2 times a match. They never use teamwork to score. One president didn't even know what a jackpot was or how to use it. I collect 70 to 80 war items and score 13k to 20k a match. Surprisingly, they are never ready for war. I end up being frustrated and start to teach the game to my club members, only to fall on deaf ears. Any advice? Okay, so my advice to you is to leave those bastards, truthfully. Here's the thing. This right here, you guys, is a perfect example of why I run my club the way that I do. This right here. Because, like what he's stating, there are so many clubs that fall under this category. There really are. And you really have to find one that fits your needs. So, first off, he should not be doing war at... Don't be doing war at your level with the way that you are. You need to level up, okay? Obviously, he has multiple cities or he wouldn't be in a club because he says he's level 9. So the first part of your statement, watch my How to Farm Rares video and my Missy's Building Guide 2 video. That will give you more than enough information to explain why being level 9 is not a good thing to be. The second thing is you should just join my group, because it sounds like you're looking for exactly what we offer. We war 2 times a week. You can hit as much as you want to get the war cards that you need to get to obtain what you need to for the contest. You won't fall on deaf ears, I can tell you that, because everybody in our club talks. you're absolutely right when you say that you're giving up items that take an hour and a half to produce. That right there is key. That is exactly what I meant when I said that you don't want to be a burden to your club. You do not want to be the guy that's constantly asking for 9,000 items but then never giving. So, for example, I always tell people, if you've watched my group rules video, I always tell people that you can ask for anything, right? But if I start to see people are asking for large quantities of items that are, let's say, hard to produce or hard to obtain or whatever, there's certain items you sell for money and there's certain items that you sell to help people out, right? Or that you keep stocked in your depot to help people out. And people will wipe your depot out when you have things like melons, ladders, paint, tape, and it's like, dude, that's not meant for one person to just wipe out. I was not selling that to make money. I was selling that to help you. And so that is one of my biggest pet peeves, is not being a greedy bastard when you go to somebody's depot and they have decent stuff up. Now, the problem is, like what he's discussing here, is that he tries to, inform people of, better ways to play the game, and no one listens. That happens a lot. If you don't force people to be active, they won't be. They will sit there. They're all on. I know they're on. Okay, it's happened. I've been playing too damn long. Okay, I know every trick in the book. People are on. They hear you. You boot them bastards. There's a 15-minute timer from when they can come back to the club. They are always back within 15 minutes of being booted. There is no notification on your phone that states you've been removed from the group. So unless you're on the game, it's not going to notify you. They're on. They read it, they see it, they're active. You don't put up that kind of amount of points. This is not a game that you play once a week. This is something that you play regularly. Everybody in the group is an active player, but not maybe actively participating in the club. And if they're not, they need to be removed. If you allow lurkers and campers and people that just kind of sit there and don't offer anything, boot them. Okay, so for him, the advice that I have for you is that you need to find a new club. The people that you're in with are not people that are going to just automatically start doing better. And it sounds like you want to be productive, and that you would benefit greatly from a group that is very active. Okay, so we do have spaces open. If you're looking for a replacement, you're more than welcome to join us. Yeah, all you have to do is click my group members, my group rules tab, watch the group rules video, hit me up on Facebook or hit me up on here and let me know what your city name is, and I'll be more than happy to approve you into the club. The only thing I tell everybody is that you have to follow all of the rules. You have to watch the group rules video. That's it. But it sounds like you would benefit greatly from having an active group. But trying to make something happen with what you've got is a waste of your time. So that's my advice to you. Get a different club. And when you say, how to find a good club, well, if you, let's say that I'm talking to other people in general, because not everybody can join my group. What you would do, if it were me, and I was out looking for a good club, first thing you need to ask yourself is, which type of player do you want to be? Do you want to be a leader, or do you want to be a group member? There's a huge difference in being president and being a member. If you want to be president, then you would make the group, and you would probably want to put up a thing on Facebook saying, hey, I just made a club. This is what my club's going to be about. This is how we're going to do things. If anybody's looking for a place to be, this is the club code. Come on in, join, blah, blah, blah. What I don't advise is to bribe people with vice president placement. A lot of people will start a club and say the first 10 people that join get to be vice president. That is a horrible idea, because people have this thought that if they're vice president, that they trump everybody else in the group and that they can just be inactive, do whatever, and you're handing out what's supposed to be an earned privilege, right? It's supposed to be like, hey, this person's been around a while, or they have knowledge of the game or knowledge of the group or whatever, and you're giving them that title without any work or any, real benefit. Because when you think about it, when you join a group and you ask a question and the vice president answers, you take them more seriously than you would just a regular member. And when it comes down to it, they really aren't any better off if you're handing it out to just anybody. It reflects on the group. So I used to hand out vice presidency to people that were active, and as long as they were active and a good member of the club, I would give it to them. And then what would happen is now it was like, oh, I'm vice president, I don't have to be active anymore. I automatically am better than everybody else, and I don't have to adhere to the same rules. That's not true. And so I stopped giving it to people that couldn't handle the title. They started thinking that like they could just go inactive. Almost every time I would promote somebody up to VP, within 3 weeks of being promoted, they were never talking. Ever. They were the most active member in the group before, but now they never talk. And it just drove me nuts. And so I finally just stopped promoting people up until they could really show like, hey, I'm not like that, So I don't recommend doing that. Obviously, it's up to you. If you don't want to be a president of a group and you're looking for a club just in general, what you could do is put up a post on Facebook asking like, hey, I'm looking for a group. This is what I want out of the group. But I'm going to warn you, you're going to get a lot of bites. You're going to get a lot of people being like, hey, join us. We do this, we do that. Be cautious of where you join. Okay? Think about it for a minute, and don't just jump on the first thing that pops up. Give people some time to answer, and then maybe conversate with that person and be like, okay, like, what's this club about? What exactly is your war schedule? What are the rules? And if they have no schedule and little rules, I would probably be leery of joining that club, because you need some kind of stability if you're going to be participating in the contest. You don't want to join a club where they're like, we start war on the last day of the contest, and, we just get annihilated in A6 and expect people to put up 70,000 war points every week. Everybody has their own requirement, is what I'm saying. Just make sure that your needs fit their requirements. Okay? Alright, so let's see. Let's move on to the next one. We're almost done. It says, I was trying to get the season 13 in my level 61 right now. I have lost my entire city by uninstalling the game. I am so happy as the game has thrown me back into level 1. I purchased a lot of items. I am so happy. What? Okay, hold on. I need your help. I had some issues with my game when I reached level 61. As I was so annoyed, I uninstalled, reinstalled, only for it to bring me back to level 1. I can't find my city I have originally built up. I know I had stored my progress, and I don't know what to do because customer service is not helping me retrieve it. Okay, if you know you stored your progress, then you have to figure out where you stored your progress. If you stored it through Apple, Google, or Facebook, try every account that you have. Try Google. If that's not it, try Facebook. If that's not it, uninstall, reinstall, and go to whatever other Google or Facebook account that you have. A lot of you guys will think that you stored it, but you didn't. If you did store it, though, and you know for a fact that you have it saved to a Facebook or whatever, it's still there. You can always get it back, okay? Hopefully that helps. And if you, let's say, logged in and it didn't retrieve it, I mean, customer service isn't going to be able to do anything for you if they don't know what account you used. I mean, I don't know what you would expect them to do, right? So, like, think about it like this. You come to a company and you say, hey, I want my city back. And they're like, okay, how are we going to retrieve it for you? What information can you provide us to locate your city? the only way that they would be able to help you in that I could think would be if you knew your player ID number, which I highly doubt that you would have that information. Most people don't. By the sounds of it, it sounds like you logged into a random account at some point and have since maybe lost the ability to log into that account or remember which account it was. The best thing I can do, or I can say to you, is to try every account that you had until you find it. And if you don't find it, you'll have to restart. That's all you're going to be able to do. Okay, so I think we got like one more left. Let's see. Okay, so when I first installed this pass, I hadn't bought the premium just yet, but I had sent a screenshot of the koala park, and it had a road notification. And because it was the Mayor's Tab feature, or the Mayor's Pass category, I thought, okay, that makes sense. It's going to need a road connected to it, right? Well, this person had complained about it. I had like 4 people send me messages complaining, like, why am I getting a road notification? And I'm like, well, it's in the Mayor's Pass category, but that is stupid. I don't know why they did that. I bought the Mayor's Pass and placed mine, and I had the red notification. I'm like, what the hell? So I just assume, okay, fine. Then I get a message from somebody saying that they don't have a red notification. And I'm like, okay, well, then you can still place it without the road, but you should have the red notification. Sometimes it doesn't pop up, sometimes it does. Now, I don't know if that was just a fluke or if they changed it. They may have changed it to where you can place it without a road because so many people were complaining. So it'll be interesting to see if other people still experience this red notification when placing it on the road, because mine went away on the koala one, but on I haven't hit any of I haven't hit the second building yet, so I don't know. But if you guys are experiencing the red notification for the road, let me know. If you're not, let me know. I think they changed it though, because several of the people that had the red notification that they had screenshotted to me don't have it anymore. So maybe it was part of a glitch or something. I don't know. But hopefully they changed it, because it would benefit. It would look a lot better if we didn't have to place the nature style buildings on the roads. That would be really lame. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of cover that. And then it says, I saved to Google Play. How do I restart and add a new account? Because I didn't understand anything you said because you talked about Facebook. Okay, so I talk about Google in several of my restart videos, but I'll tell you again. So what you're going to do is you're going to uninstall the game, and you're going to go on your phone here like this, and you can hit your settings button. Okay? Hang on. And then you're going to have a screen here, which mine isn't. There it goes. Okay. So you're going to have accounts. It says Google Accounts. Okay. So right here, you can see that you have, your accounts listed. You're going to click Add Account, and then you're going to log into whatever Google account that you used for the game. That maybe you have multiple Google accounts or whatever. If you have multiple Google accounts, then great. If not, then you can just log into it through your Play Store like you would normally. This is a brand new phone, so most of my stuff hasn't been logged into yet, or is just the pre-app stuff. But if your phone is pretty if your phone is an older phone, like something you've been using for a long time, you probably have all of your accounts already logged in, which means what you would do is you would just uninstall the game, reinstall the game, or just clear the data, which you can do by simply holding down on the app, clicking App Info, and then click Storage, and then click Clear Storage. Okay? That will basically reset the app to its original state, basically, and or to its default from like before you set anything up. Okay. Then what you'll be able to do is you'll click login with Google, and usually, like when I did it, it would tell me I had to install Google Play, or it would show me a little it'll show you a little box and it'll have all of your Google accounts listed, and then you'll locate the one that you want. If you click on the wrong one and you retrieve the wrong city, if you click log out and then try to log back in, it's not going to give you that screen again. You have to go back through and you have to reinstall the app again or clear the storage. So let's say you installed the app, you clicked login with Google, you clicked an account and it was the wrong account. So you clicked log out and log back in, trying to get that menu to pop back up. It won't. What you'll have to do is you'll have to redo everything and make sure that you click the other account the next time. Okay? Same thing usually with Facebook is if you do that, it's going to automatically sign you into the Facebook that you clicked the last time. There are a couple of applications that allow you to kind of duplicate. They allow you to run two different cities on one device. Now, some people have had really bad, luck with some of them. Some of them say, this app is really great. So it really just kind of depends on the person and what device you're using. Okay, so that pretty much concludes everything that was here in the questions. If you guys have any questions, put them in the comments below. You can always hit me up on Facebook. I've also noticed a lot of you guys are asking for the links to the guides. They are in almost every description of the videos on my channel. I have to update maybe the last, I want to say like 5 or 10 videos probably don't have the description, but all of the other ones do. And I will get those uploaded or updated probably later today or tomorrow. Other than that, go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button, and if you have a video request or questions, you're more than willing to put it in the comments, and I'm more than willing to answer your guys' questions. If you're looking for a club to join, we end war relatively soon, and you can always join us, but I have to know who you are, and you have to hit me up. Let me know what your name is, your city name, and if you watched the group rules video, I need to know that you watched it. And if you have Facebook, it would be the best because we have a group chat on Facebook where everybody is added to, and that way, if any announcements go up, or if somebody is like really hurting for an item and the people that are on don't have it, they can ask for it in the Facebook chat, stuff like that. So yeah, we've got a couple of spots left, and we war twice a week. We start our first war 12 hours before the contest starts, and then the second war starts immediately after the second cooldown is over. You will need to watch the rules video and the war video where I talk about how we do war and the community depot and all that. We have a depot that everything is free, and it's meant to help the members within the group, and it's really important that people understand how that operates so they don't like go in there and just buy everything, be an asshole. Basically, our group is all about helping the members within the group. Everybody is there to get things done and benefit. So the group is meant to not cost you anything. Everybody gives so that nobody is going without, if that makes sense. Like, obviously you're going to sell things for max price, but what I mean is, like, if you need something, everybody's there and more than willing to help you, and then vice versa. When they need something, you're there to help them. But what you don't want is, you don't want somebody who's asking more than they're giving. Like somebody who is constantly requesting items but never posting items. We don't put up with shit like that. But for the most part, everybody within the group is pretty well aware on just common sense when it comes to courtesy. You know, everybody's more than happy to help you when you have an epic and things like that. But what I've noticed a lot of people, with a lot of people, is they don't realize that when, like, this guy had commented in one of the comments we were talking about on here, is when people are asking for items that take like an hour and a half to produce, and then they're not there to help you when you need it. You know, you got to be really careful about the items that you sell. Like, yeah, you want to help group members, but don't sell off like 35 melons. And don't expect your group to give you 50 some odd melons during an epic project. And if you do, if you're in a position where you have to ask for that many of one item like that, what I usually do is I run a few tokens after my epic and try to replace those items for those members, because I know how hard it is for them to obtain those types of items. So it's like, okay, you know, you helped me when I needed it, but here, let me go ahead and get you your stuff back. Because what people don't realize is when you sell an item that is not beneficial to produce, it ends up costing you. For me to sell you a melon, it really ends up costing me money, because now instead of making flour and making donuts, I have to make melons. And I would have made more money making the flour. So it really cost me money to help you out. And it irritates me when you do things like that for people and then they don't understand or appreciate or give back. So always try to be giving back and helping people. All right, you guys, I'm going to go ahead, get this uploaded. Hopefully this answered some of your guys' questions, and I will be back